Nostalgia is a popular topic of discussion within the gaming scene. Often people talk about how games aren't what they used to be, or on the flip side, that games are exactly what they used to be, and that arguing otherwise is nostalgia blindness. Me, I don't think I sit firmly on either side of the fence. The industry has changed, sure, and whether that's for the better or for the worse is down to your personal preference. I personally believe we've had some of the greatest games of all time released in the last half a decade or so. But I don't understand some of the hostility towards the idea of nostalgia. But listen, I won't pretend that I'm not often blinded by nostalgia myself. I mean, my favourite console of all time is a handheld that's borderline impossible to look at comfortably without modern upgrades because it wasn't backlit. The Cambridge Dictionary defines nostalgia as a feeling of pleasure and also slight sadness when you think about things that happened in the past. I recently made a video about Super Mario Galaxy and how that game feels like home. I'd probably categorise that feeling under nostalgia, but it's not the only game that I feel that for. The feeling of both pleasure and slight sadness that the Cambridge Dictionary describes is the exact kind of feeling I have when I think about Mario Kart Wii, Animal Crossing, Let's Go to the City, Wii Sports. Outside of Wii games, there's Halo 3, Uncharted 2, Portal 2. There are so many games that when I think about them and the context of my life when I was playing them, I feel weird. It's like, without the word nostalgia, the feeling itself would be unidentifiable to me. It's not sadness, there's a presence of safety there, and it's warm and cozy, but it's also scary. For me, it's like being told I'm in the safest place I possibly could be, in my family living room, playing a video game on the TV. And yet, I'm not able to shake the feeling that if I turn my head, there's gonna be something behind me. There's one game, though, that for whatever reason stands above the rest in terms of making me feel nostalgic. All of the games I just listed, including Minecraft, share something in common. They came out before I was 10. With Minecraft in particular, though, I was really pushing that first double-digit milestone. I was old enough now to have some vague understanding of some of the complexities of life, but I also wasn't old enough that they were something I had to care about yet either. I won't lie and tell you I've kept up with Minecraft, because I really haven't. I've seen people talk a lot about how the identity of the game has shifted over time, and I'm sure lots of new things have been added throughout the game's nearly 15-year lifespan, but it's not really something I have enough knowledge about to speak on. When I first played Minecraft, I'm not even sure there was a hunger mechanic. My first experiences with the game were as simple as it got. I distinctly remember witnessing the chunks of my first survival world load in. I also remember that, for some dumb reason, the first thing I did was dig straight down and get stuck. Yeah, I wasn't very smart back then. Still, when I eventually found my way out that hole, I went punching everything I could to see A, if I could break it, and B, if it dropped anything useful. I had no knowledge of crafting or anything of the sort, so I built my first shelter out of oak logs. I had no real awareness of my size by comparison to the rest of the world yet, so I built the ceiling too low and I couldn't actually get in because I was too tall for it. It started to get dark and I started hearing scary noises. I probably saw something else first, but I very vividly remember seeing this weird green thing with a face on it and thinking, wow, what's that? I wonder what would happen if I punched it. Yet I really wasn't very smart back then. To be honest, the nature of night in Minecraft was so scary that I thought about putting the game down and never touching it again. I probably should have written a diary or something because I was a massive wimpy kid back then. I couldn't handle fear at all. I mean, at the time I lived in permanent fear that Chucky lived inside my wardrobe because a friend showed me a clip from the movies that genuinely scarred me. Nowadays, I've sunk a fair amount of change into merchandise with the little guy's face on it. It's funny how time changes you that way. The things that once seemed so scary become trivial, a source of comfort even. I didn't give up on Minecraft, I persisted, purely because with every day that followed a terrifying night, I would fall in love with the beauty of the gameplay loop again. Punching trees and placing blocks, and each day getting one step closer to building the perfect house. I still feared the night, but I stuck with it. And eventually the nights that seemed so hostile and difficult to survive through became trivial obstacles in my pursuit for more diamonds. I was lucky enough to also be playing through Minecraft's first boom. I believe it's known as the golden age of Minecraft now. Everyone was playing it. I remember when multiplayer servers were all the rage with cops and robbers and games like that. Stampy was becoming really popular in my school. It was crazy. All anyone would talk about was either playing Minecraft or watching someone play Minecraft. I don't remember why, but shortly after that, it just sort of phased out of my life. I put the game down one day and I never really picked it back up until last year, in my final year of uni. I'm going to spare you the details, but uni was difficult for many reasons. Namely, the uni wasn't very accessible or accommodating when it came to student disabilities and especially student mental health, and the situations that caused got so bad that both me and my girlfriend were in a very bad place. Not as a couple. As a couple we were stronger than ever, but individually we'd both been beaten to a pulp by the entire process and just felt done with it all. We had no money, our uni course operated on a full-time basis, we had to make ourselves available literally all the time for the sake of our degrees, so we were essentially unemployable. I don't remember how I stumbled across it, but at some point in that time, when we were both at our lowest point, I heard Mice on Venus again for the first time in years, and I broke. I felt like I was mourning the loss of what I once had. When I was 10, I took what I had for granted. Like I said, in that first Minecraft boom, all anyone around me would talk about was either playing Minecraft or watching someone play Minecraft. In those fleeting moments of our childhood, that was all we had to worry about. I'd have given anything to be back in that position again. Instead of worrying about what Stampy was going to do in his lovely world next, or what server I was going to hop onto when I got home from school, now I had to worry about money, about time, and about keeping myself and my girlfriend strong and surviving despite everything that was beating us down. We were advised by the people around us and mental health professionals to take a few days off to try and alleviate some of that pressure. Like I said, we had no money, so we couldn't really do anything with those few days, but we remembered that we both still owned Minecraft on PC on our childhood email accounts, and we decided to start playing it together. It was wonderful. The game was fundamentally the same, but also drastically different at the same time. It was like a mirror. We changed since we placed our last blocks, and so too had it. But as we built our first shelter together and survived our first scary night, it became clear that the soul of it all still remained. Those few days were like a second childhood, only this time I got to spend it with my best friend in the whole world. I won't speak for her, but at least for me, that time we spent experiencing Minecraft for the first time all over again, well, I think it saved me. It was the only thing we had to hold on to for a little while there. I tell you all of this because I think this is why nostalgia as a concept is intensely important. I'll bring it back to that way I described how I interpret nostalgia. It's like being told I'm in the safest place I possibly could be, in my family living room, playing a video game on the TV, and yet I'm not able to shake the feeling that if I turn my head, there's gonna be something behind me. Minecraft is that feeling for me. You're given a beautiful world, yours to explore as you wish, to craft in as you wish, to make your safe haven. But in every day in Minecraft, there's that reminder at the back of your mind that night is coming. Best take shelter soon, there'll be monsters nearby. But like I said, that fear of the night and of the monsters of Minecraft is something you slowly get the hang of as you play. Because every day that follows a terrifying night, you're reminded of the beauty of it all again. The beauty of exploring the world and gathering resources, of getting one step closer to building your dream home. And then one day, you're still building, and it gets dark, and you realise that the night isn't something you fear anymore. The things that scared you once upon a time seem so trivial now. You understand that the night is not to be feared. It is simply something you have to go through to get to the day again. Nostalgia is important to me. It reminds me in dark times to look for the light again, whether that light is a childhood game or even a more recent experience. Sometimes we need to revisit those feelings to remind us of how far we've come. As I talk to you now, both me and my girlfriend are in a much better place. We're happy, we're healthy, we graduated, we live together, we have a beautiful puppy who we shower with love every chance we get. The stress of uni feels a million miles away now. It got better. We just needed that nostalgia. We needed Minecraft again to remind us that it would. Thank you for watching this video. I don't mean to argue that nostalgia blindness isn't a thing. There were many games I've grown up thinking were the pinnacle of gaming, and I've gone back and played them only to realise they suck. This is more my argument for why we shouldn't be so hostile to the idea of nostalgia itself. It has its drawbacks, sure, but it's also one of the reasons I'm here today. If you have any opinions about nostalgia, or similar feelings for a piece of media you enjoyed as a child, be it Minecraft or something completely different, and you feel comfortable sharing, I'd love to hear about it down below. If you like this video, please do consider sticking around. We just hit 4,000 subscribers and your support means a lot to me. I also activated memberships recently on this channel. There's only one tier and very minimal perks. I didn't want to change my content or the way I make it to accommodate memberships because I want everything to remain accessible for everybody. So it's really just there as a way for those who want to support me directly to do so. The content and the way I make it is not going to change. Thank you to all of you for your support recently. The response to the last few videos has been so heartwarming, and the love is well and truly felt.